Our next problem is a division problem, and most people dread division, so dividing by decimals may seem like it's very hard, but it's not that bad. And there's a few things that we can do to help to make it a little bit easier. So first off, we need to rewrite our problem inside of our house. Now, this second number right here is called our divisor. That number goes outside of our house. The first number is called our dividend, and that number goes inside of our house. Now, if you're like my students, sometimes they can get those confused. So here's a little trick that we learned to help us. Let's come over here to this outside number, our divisor, draw your house. Okay? Now, what are we missing? Our dividend, which is 5.6. So just fill it in. Okay? Now it looks like a crazy problem. So cross this side out. And voila, you have your rewritten division problem. Okay? Now, our goal is to have a whole number divisor. Is this a whole number? It is not. So in order to make it a whole number, we have to move our decimal to the right. We only had to move it one time. But what we do to our divisor, we also have to do to our dividend. So we have to move this decimal one place to the right as well. And now to get that decimal out of our way when we're dividing, let's move that decimal to the top of our house. Okay? Just like that. You raise it to the top. Arriba, or I've seen raise it to the roof. All right? Now we have our simple long division problem of 56 divided by 26. Now, if all these symbols confuse you, rewrite your problem. So we have 26 on the outside, 56 on the inside. Don't forget that decimal. Okay? And we can erase this stuff. Now we have a nice clean problem to use. So let's start. How many times can 26 go into 56? Let's do some math. So let's do 26 times 2. Because we don't know our 26 timetables. At least I don't. So 2 times 6 is 12. Carry our 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. We have to stop there because if we went up any higher, we'd go over our mark of 56. So 26 can go into 56 2 times. We now multiply 2 times 26, which is 52. Now we subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. 5 minus 5 is 0. Or you could just leave that blank. Now, normally we'd be done and we'd have a remainder. But because of this decimal, we have to keep going. So we add a 0 behind our 6 and bring it down. Now we have 40 divided by 26. Well, we saw over here that times 2 would give us 52. So we know that 26 can only go into 40 one time. 1 times 26 is 26. We subtract. We have to regroup. Turns into a 10. And our 4 into a 3 because we borrowed. 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. Once again, we can't have a remainder. Let's add a 0 and bring it down. How many times can 26 go into 140? I don't know. Let's try something. Let's do 26 times 4. 6 times 4, 24. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So 104. I think we can go up some more. Let's try 5. 26 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3, 13. So 26 can go into 140 5 times. And 5 times 26 is 130. We subtract and we get 10. Now let's pay attention to our instructions. Round to the nearest hundredths. So we're at our hundredths place, so that means we need to go one more place to our thousandths. And then we can stop and round. So let's add a 0 up here. Bring it down. How many times can 26 go into 100? Well, we already showed our work up here, so we know it has to be less than 4. So let's try 26 times 3. 6 times 3, 18, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 26 can go into 100 3 times, and 3 times 26 is 78. We subtract, make sure we borrow 10. This turns into a 9. Sorry, that's can't really see that very well. And that 1 goes into a 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 0 minus 0 is 0, so we can leave it blank. Now we want to round. Let's draw our door behind our hundredths place, which is where that 5 is. And the saying is, who's that knocking on my back door? The 3 is knocking on the back door. And then there goes 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, leave the mess. This 3 is 4 or less, so we're going to leave the mess. And our answer is going to be 2 and 15 hundredths. And you're done.